Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to everyone. Welcome to International Conference on Entrepreneurship, Management, Education, Social Science and Technology 2023. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Syakir bin Asrulsani. I am a lecturer at University of Technology Mara, Perak Campus, Tapa Branch. I would like to present my paper on understanding a long-term care towards aging population in Malaysia. These video presentations will cover several aspects, including introduction, challenges of aging populations in Malaysia, solution to address the challenges, government initiatives, social welfare organizations, private insurance, caregiver support programs, and lastly would be the conclusion. For introductions, there will be three subtopics that we will cover. There are the definitions of long-term care, next overview of situations of aging population in Malaysia, and lastly would be the purpose of the study. As for the first subtopic, long-term care insurance is defined as a widely range of services provided to people that are unable to do an activity of daily living and to support instrumental activity of daily living. Activity of daily living is defined as an essential activity to everyone, such as dressing, feeding, and bathing, while instrumental activities of daily living is defined as an instrument that are necessarily needed for activity that are adapt independently to the environment, such as transportations, housekeeping, and shopping. As for the overview of the situation of aging population in Malaysia, an aging population is defined as a group of people aged 65 years and above. Malaysia is experiencing an aging population as a result of lower fertility rate and increasing life expectancy. The population rate trend for those aged 65 years and above still shows an increase every year that reduced Malaysia to become an aging country by 2023, as the populations of those aged 65 years old and above reach up to 15% of the total populations. And the purpose of this study is to understand the long-term care towards aging population in Malaysia. Next, the challenges of aging populations in Malaysia towards healthcare, changing social structure, and financial difficulties. As for healthcare, aging population may face health issues such as chronic diseases and disabilities that require more intensive and costly healthcare services. And as for changing social structure, aging population may be more likely to face social isolations due to the changing social structure. And lastly, for the financial difficulties, aging population may also experience financial difficulties due to the higher cost of living and lack of retirement savings. Next is solutions to address the challenges, meaning to say that it is how to tackle the challenges faced by the aging populations in Malaysia. The first solutions is enhancing healthcare services. This includes increasing the availability and accessibility of healthcare services, as well as providing financial support. Next is strengthening social support. This can be done by providing social service programs and building social network among the elderly. Next is improving financial incentives. This includes providing tax incentives and grants, as well as increasing the retirement age and pension scheme. Next, how about the government initiative? Does the government of Malaysia provide initiative to elderly in Malaysia? Yes, there are several initiatives provided by the government of Malaysia. The first is the Elderly Care Act. This act provides for the welfare and protections of elderly persons in Malaysia. Next is the geriatric care services. This includes the provisions of geriatric healthcare and other support services for the elderly. Lastly would be the pension scheme. This provides a regular income for the elderly that helps to alleviate financial difficulty. Next slide is about social welfare organizations that will tell us about the programs and services provided, example of organizations, and opportunities for involvement. As for the programs and services provided, these organizations provide various programs and services such as daycare services and home-based care to meet the needs of the elderly. And the example of organizations includes the Social Welfare Departments, Home Care Society, and National Council of Senior Citizens of Malaysia. And lastly, as for opportunity of involvement, volunteers and donors can provide supports and assistance to this organization. Next is, how about insurance? Is there any insurance that can help this group of people? Yes, there are. But before we go to that, we need to understand what is the meaning of insurance itself. Insurance is a risk transfer mechanism that can help reduce burden borne by the insured. There are various types of insurance, benefit of insurance, and also challenges of insurance faced by the insurance company. As for the type of insurance, this includes a long-term care insurance, disability insurance, and life insurance. And as for benefit of insurance, this helps to provide financial protections and security for the elderly. And lastly, for the challenges, this includes the high cost of premium and lacks of awareness among the elderly. Next slide will be the caregiver support program. That includes types of programs, benefits of programs, and also challenges of programs. As for the types of programs, includes respite care, home care, and training programs for the caregivers. As for the benefit of programs, which helps to reduce caregiver stress and provide support for the elderly. Lastly, the challenges of the programs, which includes the difficulty in finding qualified caregivers and the lack of financial support. As for conclusions, we will divide it into three main subtopics. There are a summary of findings, a benefit of a long-term care, and also a future recommendations. As for summary of findings, this study has discussed the challenges, solutions, and initiatives for long-term care towards aging population in Malaysia. And as for benefit of a long-term care can help to improve the quality of life and reduce financial difficulties for the elderly. And lastly, the future recommendations, a further research is needed to understand the needs and preference of the aging population in Malaysia. Next is the references. This is some of the references that I use for this study. That is all from me. I hope you enjoy it. All the best for your future endeavor. Thank you very much.